The new Rebel is here, and it probably got the biggest update when you compare it to the other trim levels. I borrowed this truck from Larry H. Miller, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. It is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see some of the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description, and then here's the base price, $64,195. And then here's a short listing of all the standard equipment. Starting off the options is that diamond black crystal pearl paint, bed utility group, which is a 100% recommendation, monotone paint, so you can get this in a two-tone with a black bottom. Rebel level 1 equipment group was $495, gives a lot of nice features there. 33-gallon fuel tank and trailer brake. Destination comes in $1995 with a total price of $68,215. And here are the fuel economy numbers. I was actually shocked when Ram did not allow the Rebel to have the high output Hurricane. But when I saw the RHO, I was like, makes sense. But yes, on the 2025 Ram 1500, you cannot get the high output engine. And that Rebel 1 equipment group has a lot more features that they don't show you on the window sticker, so I'll just show it to you here really quickly. That is definitely a box you want to choose because it's only $495 and it gives you a lot of nice features. But for 2025, as most know, they did refresh the Rebel and it has a cleaner face. I like these headlights a lot better, and it has pretty much the same design for the bumpers up front, but it's just a little bit more cleaner. That's just the best way to put it. You do have a reflective style headlight housing, which is pretty much a carryover, just a different design. Incandescent turn signals here, and then your fog lights are going to be reflective style. You have your parking sensors, and Ram blesses you with one on the side in case you're pulling into your garage. And having these off-road bumpers does give you a little bit better clearance on the sides for approach angle. You have your recovery loops right here, and they're still using active grille shutters. You can see it looks like you have a backup camera, but nope, it's just a plastic trim piece. And then check out this sport performance hood. It looks to be a carryover. You have your heat extractors right here, and then you just have this new badge right there. Straight 6 turbo.
And then here is the front. There aren't any skid plates here, but you can see there's one for that transfer case.
And let's check out the suspension. Looks like it's pretty much a carryover too. You guys can see down below here, you have that what looks to be forged aluminum lower control arm. You have a steel one, looks like a stamped steel upper control arm. And that steer knuckle looks to be forged aluminum too. Now I don't see any reinforcement on that lower control arm, but it looks pretty overbuilt. Bilstein shocks, those are just your basic ones Ram's been using for a while. And wheel liners finished in plastic. So yeah, here is the biggest letdown for me though. These Goodyear Wrangler Duratracs. I have found in the past that these tires get kind of loud and they give a lot of body roll for the Rebels. Chevy actually got away from these tires. They went to the Territory MTs, and those are the ones I would like to see on this truck. Here is the tire size, LT 275/70/18. That should be a 33-inch tire, 10.8 inches wide. And then here is the capacity, 3,640 pounds of capacity. That is really impressive for a half-ton truck tire. And then here's just the other side. You can see that sway bar on this side a little bit better. And you can see that lower control arm as well. Notice how they connected the end link there too on the sway bar. Never seen it done that way. Fender flares on the side. And then here's just a little decal or stamp on the headlight that says Ram. No painted trim pieces here, but you have that turn signal LED, and all your badges are gonna be blacked out too. It's a good looking truck, and this truck does have like a 2-inch lift over the stock Ram trucks too. Now there is a Rebel equipment group like number 2, and that's the one I would get because it gives you a lot of nice features. It gives you the smart key system and a few other things. But you have your blind spot, heated mirrors, convex on both sides. And you guys saw they upgraded the fuel tank to 33 gallons. And here's that decal, which is pretty much a carryover. It doesn't look bad, honestly. They do provide a wheel well liner out back. And they're using the incandescent tail lights too, and reverse lights. And then here is that bed step, a part of that utility group package. They did restyle the rear down below here too. Steel bumpers out back, dual exhaust, and they have the black tips too. They've always spelt out Ram, I believe, on the Rebels. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you have that Rebel badge right there. 4x4, which comes standard. LED license plate lights. You have your 7 and 4 pin. Class 4 hitch. And then you guys can see here, there is a light for your conventional hitch with a backup camera. And on this truck, you get the 392 standard, okay? And then this has that donut style spare tire, which is a huge no-no on an off-road truck. Just saying. And then on the bed, 400 watts of power. You have your bed lights, tie downs on both sides, incandescent lights at the very top. And then here's the other side. What do you guys think about the new wheels? I like them, by the way. They look good. 6 lug. Yeah, they work well on this truck. I like blackout. I like them a lot better than the outgoing for sure. Here's some fun facts. There's 96 common parts between the standard output and high output engines. And there's 90 unique to this motor. That's pretty interesting. So this is the inline 6 3-liter twin turboed engine. I like this engine and I don't like it. The biggest thing I don't like about it is it's just direct injection. Why Ram would not make this engine direct and port injection, we will never know. Maybe they figured out a way to combat buildup on the intake valves. You would think after that 3-liter eco diesel, whatever it was called, they would have learned a lesson. Aluminum heads and block, 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque. This has still made it to the tried and true ZF 8-speed, which is the 8HP 75. It's a really good transmission. Despite what people say about Chrysler products, they do have good transmissions. Like, I don't have to go down the rabbit hole, but yes, this is a good transmission. Do not listen to the online hate. So the compression on this engine is going to be higher compared to the high output, obviously. So it's going to be 10.4 to 1. And you guys can see 0W20 oil. Believe it or not, that high output uses 0W40. Because you cannot get the high output engine in the Rebel, you also can't get the upgraded axle that comes with that engine. See, in my humble opinion, that was a big fail because an off-road truck should have the more robust rear end, and it's not available for the standard output engine, so it's not available for the Rebel either. So as far as the cooling goes on this engine mounted water to air charge coolers, and the exhaust manifolds are also water cooled. Inside the interior, most of it is a carryover. And that's not a bad thing because Ram did a great job back in 2018 when they redesigned this truck. You guys can see right here, like the trim pieces are a little bit newer, but like most of it is going to be a carryover with the exception of these buttons here. This came out of the Wagoneers. You have that bright trim piece on the door handle, red accents, and then you have hard plastic down below. 10-way seat including the lumbar, and this does have decent bowstring on the side, more red stitching there, cloth insert with a little bit of red accent there too. You can get leather seats. You can actually make this a luxury truck. So yeah, tilt headrest, telescoping steering wheel, but it is not power. Now notice down below, I didn't see this on the other trim levels that I reviewed. It looks like they give you an indentation here. I guess they assume when you're going off-road you will probably scuff up this door really badly, so they just give this to you. You have your power pedals, You have your cargo power button there, electronic parking brake, lighting controls, more red accents on the side here, grab handle, and they give you the black headliner, which is always a plus in my book. You cannot get this truck with a bench up front. And then check this out. They give this to you. Love the digital gauge cluster. You have the availability to get the 14.4 inch display here, but it was an option on this one. You guys see down below here, the RAM charger. For 2025, I did see that they give you a dual charger, which is super nice. Really quickly, the wireless chargers is for like trickle charging for like trips. If you travel a lot for hours, these are gonna always, and these are your type A and type C USBs, these charge your phone pretty quickly. So if your phone's already somewhat charged and you just wanna keep it charged where it's at, that's what this wireless charger is for, so just keep that in mind. They do have the best center console, open storage right there. You have storage there, out back, and they do give you a divider too that pops up. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's a little dark in there. Yeah, you have that divider. This does slide for deeper storage there. And then check this out. Give you some measurements and wrench conversions. Down below here you have your full drive auto for low. You guys can see too, this is your auto stop start, and this is going to be for, looks to be like either a trail control or downhill assist. And then you have the electronic axle lock out back. Let's go ahead and go to the off-road pages. So if you go to vehicle here, and you go to your, let's go to dashboard. You have your off-road pages. And if I were to hit the axle lock, let's see what happens. So you guys can see it locks that rear axle there. Hopefully you guys saw that changeover. It shows that the center axle is already locked. And if you hit it again, it goes away. But they do give you your accessory gauges on this screen too. Really nice layout, and I love what Ram has done. Dual climate control. You have heated front seats. Now they did do something a little different for the seats. So let's go down to comfort. And you guys see right here, if I turn on the heated seats, you can change the zone of the seat. So you can do just the back, you can do just the bottom, or you can do both. And that's something that they pretty much stole from the Wagoners too, and I believe probably the Grand Cherokees. Now on this screen they do give you off-road pages, but they did update the vehicle information page, so they give you your MPG here now. They used to give it to you on its own separate screen, and you guys can see some of the temperatures. Actually, hold on here, is that better? Miles per gallon. And also you guys will see you have the actual temperature. So it was all messed up inside of here, so I just fixed it all. So if you want to do custom, you can do that as well, but you have all your temperatures. They have the best of the best in the half-ton segment. This is something new I didn't mention to you on the engine, but you don't have a dipstick any longer. You have this. You have your tire pressure, stop start, and then this is for your drive mode. So let's go ahead and go through those really quickly. They have automatic, and it will show you what it does too. Automatically adapts to road conditions. That's all it says. Okay. Next is off-road. Nice animations there. Turns off traction control. Shows you maximizes traction. Up next is sport. And it does faster shifts, firmer suspension and steering, optimized for handling. And then you have your tow haul. Then it shows you what it does. Turns traction control on. And then there you go. Last one is snow. Turns on the headlights. Maximize traction, early shifting, optimized for slippery conditions. Here's the dash, all soft touch. It does come standard with the Alpine sound system, 12-volt plug. I forget that the half tons have that, by the way, too. And you guys can see up top here, the vanities. LED lights for the interior for the most part. You have a power sliding glass out back. And home links up here. You have the option to get a panoramic sunroof too, by the way. And the GT package, be sure to check that out online. I like the GT package because it does change the shifter orientation. It does change up the center console. And then you have a little bit of storage on the side here. I'm sure you guys saw the push button start. I didn't show you guys the off-road page. I just want to show it to you really quickly. So this is what you would see in this screen here. And then of course, when you have the digital gauge cluster, you have the navigation here too. On the passenger side, you do not have a power seat, but they do provide covered storage here that they do illuminate with the light. And here's the glove box. Out back, you have more red interior, especially on the back of the seats. I don't mind the red interior. Not my favorite. I don't mind it though. You have this storage, and these do pop out too. Tie downs. They have the biggest cab, flat floor surface, and no USBs or heated seats out back. You guys can see the seat materials. You can't drop these down. And they do have this storage that's collapsible. And then you have this armrest. Here are the numbers on the door. Gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 3,900 pounds. Their rear is 4,100 pounds, which is class leading. Gross vehicle weight rating is going to be 7,100 pounds. And the wheels are 18 by 8 wide. And payload is 1,477 pounds. That is pretty low, I would say. But if it was a higher trim, it probably would lose a couple hundred pounds more. Like if you added the panoramic sunroof, the level 2 equipment group, rock rails or high clearance steps. Yeah, all those things are going to take away from the payload. So nevertheless, still a great truck. And if this truck is still here, I will drive it, and maybe I'll have a chance to do a comparison with a Ford Trimmer.